Here we go. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I you know, I gotta say, this has been probably the most exciting crypto run up this week I've seen in literally a year or two.
Oh, well, yeah, literally since 2021.
Since
Really,
2021.
really the end of 2021. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning,
Oh
Cody.
yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, this
Yeah.
is
So
or
so
or good afternoon or good evening.
right. Who
It
knows where
could
you are?
it could be anywhere.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, the markets have been very exciting. I'll tell you that. I think we're in a little correction right now. So a little downturn, but that's healthy. Market has to oscillate back and forth. We don't want a flat line because, as we know, a flat line usually means what things are not with us anymore.
Right.
So anyway, what do you got going on there?
Well, I am currently putting up our thumbnail,
Excellent.
so I'm gonna do that.
All right.
I don't know
So
if you want to run over like what your thoughts are. Actually, one thing I will say that I was really curious about for this week was the uh the Ramaswamy news. I know we were talking about it this morning, but it'd be kind of interesting just to jump right into that,
all
especially
right,
since our
cool.
thumbnail
So
is going to be all about it.
I'm just gonna share my screen real quick.
Yeah, that's like, and for those of you who don't know who Vivek Ramaswamy is, he is one of the hot candidates that's going to be running for president for the United States of America. And I think has a very, very serious opportunity of being in second place next to Donald Trump in the Republicans party. I don't know if
Yes.
Brian would agree, but I would think.
Well, I know he's the only presidential candidate on the Republican side, I think, that has actually said, I would accept, you know, being the vice president. Where I
Yeah,
know other candidates have stated they will not be Donald Trump's vice president if he wins the nomination.
right. Yeah, which
So,
is
but
massive. But there's also interesting thing, little point to kind of point out is if Trump does become president of the United States, because one thing that him and Trump is all about the United States dollar. That's kind of been his push, his big move. If
yes,
if people adopt the philosophy of cryptocurrency, then he will be all about cryptocurrency because I really do think that Trump is only about whatever the larger majority of people are about is what it comes down
honestly,
to.
I don't think Trump's really educated himself
No,
fully on what
absolutely not.
cryptocurrency is.
I agree. That's absolutely right.
Whereas, you know, Ramaswamy, he has.
Right.
He knows
Exactly.
what crypto is. And I think it might be a little bit because Donald Trump, granted, Donald Trump is no spring chicken.
No.
He's up there at the same age level as our current president Biden.
Right.
He's in his what mid to upper 70s now,
Oh yeah, his sister just passed away last week actually at
right? So
eighty-six
he's
or whatever.
definitely old school, like Warren Buffett and his partner, they're anyway. So I think if Donald Trump did become president again and Ramaswamy was his vice president, I think that would be a very good thing in the sense that Ramaswamy would definitely be educating Trump on what crypto is and how it's, to me, the evolution of the financial system changing for the
Right.
better, becoming more efficient. So that would be a good thing. So I guess I'll lead right into that with this article I just found um, on Yahoo Finance about Ramaswamy. He unveils his crypto plan. So I was just going to go through that here a few minutes, just read some key points. So his plan, crypto plan, would be called the Three Freedoms of the Crypto Frame. Three freedoms of crypto, and the framework would be the three-part plan, beginning with protecting the code developers, the people creating the cryptocurrency, from prosecution. What they create is then used by bad actors. I got to get my tongue back here. So anyway, right? So what's happening is, like, for instance, Tornado Cash was this cryptocurrency where I'll get to that point real quick. Is the cryptocurrency that creates this large pool of crypto, and what happens is it's it hides. Well, it makes it more difficult to track where your crypto was sent from and where you received it from. So what happens is right here, Tornado Cash developers. It's developers that made this. They call it a mixer, which you know, kind of hides the origins of the funds to make transactions harder to trace. So the government went ahead and charged the developers of this in August with money laundering and sanction violations because of the mix-up, because of some bad actors out there using it to money launder. But instead of going after the bad actors, the government goes after the developers. So, and it's for more than $1 billion of money laundering. So Vivek Ramaswamy doesn't want this to happen. He doesn't believe in what's going on here. His belief is the developers, the code writers, the people creating the new technology, innovation. He wants to protect them and go after the actual bad actors. So that was the first one. Instead of like freedom of speech, it's like the freedom of writing your code, protecting developers. Same concept. So that was his first. His second, say right there, is my view that code is speech. So he said it right here. My code is speech. So he wants to make that just like the First Amendment, almost. Yep. You know what I mean? So
yep.
Don't go after the people trying to create and innovate and make things better. They're not thinking about how it could be used maliciously. Go after those people, the bad actors. So that was his first. Then his second one, sorry if I'm bouncing around a little bit here.
No, yeah, it makes sense.
So the one he called it is the freedom to code. He says it right here. Principle number 1, freedom to code. I love it, So, and that's where he talked about, I just went over the tornado cash. And the second would be, second freedom in his crypto framework is the freedom to freedom of financial self-reliance. So, which would prohibit the federal government from limiting the use of self-hosted wallets and would clarify that the Bank Secrecy Act, which he said has been weaponized, doesn't apply to blockchain infrastructure providers. So that was the second one, which is, excuse me, what has he called it again? Right here. Like I said, I just found this article. So we're all going through it together. The freedom to financial self-reliance. That's the second one. And then his third freedom would be is freedom from regulatory overreach, saying that right here, saying that were he to become president, his regime would establish rules to clarify what qualifies as a security and what does not, which is still hot debated. Right now, the SEC wants to decide. And they're not even a elected entity. Like the SEC head, he's not elected. I can't even think of it. Like the president assigns that person or something, right? Isn't that like almost like a cabinet member? I'm not sure how that works. But I think it's not a cabinet member, but it's just like, whatever president's sitting when that term comes up, because Gensler's term is up in 2026. But anyway, I can't think of the term. Oh, nominate. They nominate that person. I think then you have to get approved by Congress.
Like the president himself nominates.
I think so.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry I went off on a tangent there.
No, you're good.
But what changes is the regulation by law enforcement ends. Ramaswamy told CoinDesk TV, what does that mean? That the rules are delineated clearly in advance rather than you having to wait for an enforcement action for the SEC to figure out whether or not a given coin was a security or not. That's what Gary Gensler refuses to say today, for example, about Ethereum, right? So, and look at all the money that's been wasted with these lawsuits, because the SEC can decide, yeah, maybe this one is, maybe that one isn't. There's no set regulation. And that's what is a big thing needed. So that's his third freedom from regulatory overreach. So when I read this, that was very exciting.
Yeah, that is
article, right? Because
especially if he becomes like, I mean, in a world of, in my opinion, and I mean, obviously this is like a serious, Like, I don't want to get overly political here,
No.
but in my opinion, for the sake of cryptocurrency, I think people like Vivek Ramaswamy would be a massive, massive opportunity, whether he become president or vice president, because he like, and here's the thing, like, I think that it's Donald Trump has a seriously high chance of becoming president. And so, my my hope is that if he does become president, my hope is that he actually does choose Vivek Ramaswamy as a vice president.
Oh,
I I really hope he does.
I,
I don't know if that's going to happen, but
I do too. The more and more I listen to him, and now I'm finding articles like this,
yeah,
which
because now you got two seriously serious businessmen. These guys have
right.
made mega
And
millions over their
and
lifetime
and we need
running
some
the
serious
country.
businessmen that know how to run a fiscally sound business. Because
Right.
right now, our U.S. government is not fiscally sound. Look at all the debt
No.
we're in.
No,
But
no, we
anyway,
need we need people that know how to create businesses, create
right.
jobs, and we need to know, like, specifically with cryptocurrency, like, we need people that are like that know how to work with like tech people and give them a chance and move forward with that. I mean, dude, this could be huge. This really
It could
could,
be.
especially with the news that has come out with, like, for instance, the Ethereum ETF that was just recently launched,
Well,
for BlackRock.
other investment companies are launching, following suit. There's more
And
and
that's the
more.
thing. Like, see, once these ETFs actually are launched, like once they happen, because it's a matter of time, we know that it's going to happen. It's not a question of, oh no, will it happen or not? It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Like, it's things like that that will cause these, these baby boomers like Donald Trump, assuming that he is president of the United States, he'll start to warm up to it because he's just like, okay, this is fine. This is good. This is great. He'll get into it. He will. Like, I think he will. I think he'll just be like, it's on BlackRock and Fidelity. It's not too bad as long as it boosts the United States dollar.
Right.
That's all that matters.
So
It's like,
I
and then
know.
Vivek's gonna be like, Trump, it's gonna be great. We're gonna love it. And he's like, Vivek says it's great. It's great. And
Right.
so, and that's all that matters. And
So, and
that's what
that's
I
the
see
thing.
happening.
Yes. So right now, and the U.S. needs to step up right now. We need to be leading the regulations because we all know this is going to be highly regulated industry, just like the financial system is now. It's going to happen.
Right.
We need to be leading that and not following, or we're falling behind right now.
No, we're
China's
way
coming out
behind.
with the regulations. Europe is, England is. I mean, a bunch of countries are already
But it's
coming
not
out
even
with
the
their.
regulations, it's the accumulation, you know, unless there's like a secret accumulatory
What do you mean by
part.
accumulation? Like
Like, just
physical accumulation of the coins?
dude, this is a battle of who has the most gold right now. Like, that
Right.
that is
That's already happening behind the scenes. Remember,
100%, yes. But
because
if you
we did that
but
largest.
China's
I'm going to
ahead of
pull
us
it
on
up.
that for
I'm going to
sure.
largest crypto holdings. All right. Largest Bitcoin. We're just going to go by Bitcoin, right? Because that's everybody's going towards the new
There's
digital
no
gold.
doubt in my mind that China is ahead of us on that, ahead of the world on that.
No.
Oh, come
Largest
on.
Bitcoin holders. Let's see what comes up.
Well, now
I'm
there's a doubt
looking
in
it
my
up.
mind when you said no. No,
That,
seriously though.
here we
I
go. I'm
All right,
bringing it on here
pull it
soon.
up, pull it up. I want to see
Hold
it.
on. I'm trying to get everything squared away here. Wow, they make what? All right. No, let me go largest. I got to do a different search. Keep talking.
Yeah, well, anyways. So,
I'll
there
get it.
was, well, did you hear about, I mean, I don't even know if I should open up this can of worms right now,
Go
but
ahead.
yeah, no, I won't. I'm gonna wait until we're done talking about this. Too many rabbit trails. But yeah, so, I think that Vivek Ramaswamy is a wonderful, you know, example of the direction that we need to go as far as a spokesperson for cryptocurrency goes. I think it's great. Now, there's, I'm not a Democrat, but there are people. Well, actually, he's not a Democrat anymore. He actually went to um he actually went independent, I think.
Who did?
Um Kennedy. I think Kennedy actually went independent because he couldn't handle the in between.
Oh, that's right. That's
He was
right.
trying
Yeah.
to get everybody to he's he was trying to do this bipartisan. He's very
Can't
bipartisan with everything,
everybody just get along?
Yeah, just get along. Just come on. We have to. Well, sorry. Yeah, and I felt bad, for him because people are really beating the crap out of him on both ends of the table. But yeah, so anyways, he's really into cryptocurrency. I mean, he loves it. He's into it just as much as Vivek Ramaswamy is, you know.
Yeah,
But I mean, I personally stand more for more of the Republican stuff, anyways. And I love business development and I love capitalism and stuff like that. I mean, and I'd say most of the cryptocurrency community does as well, So
yeah,
if you want people that are going to be guys who know how to build massive businesses and
right.
create jobs and keep the blood flow of financing going. Like that's the kind of people you want running the country, not
Definitely.
people that are, doing criminal crap, but stuff. We're spending way too much money, man. We're getting way, I mean, I'm not against debt, but like to the degree that we're into it, oh my word. Like the amount of trillions that we've spent this past literally 4 years has been it's record breaking, you know?
Yes.
I remember seeing our debt at like $10 trillion. I remember that. Now we're way past that. We're like quadruple past that. So it's scary.
Um, I had it up before. I can't find it now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's
because
because you're wrong.
no,
It's
it had
because
a,
you're wrong, Brian.
it had a
It's
mix
not. It's
because,
China. China has all of the Bitcoin right now, and that's
all right, you know what? All right, you're gonna, oh,
oh no.
you're
You see what
lucky
I've
I'm
done?
not there. Let's
Oh,
see.
dude.
So
All
this
right.
is all I got right now. The five biggest institutional Bitcoin holders, right? We got MicroStrategy, then Marathon Digital, Galaxy Digital, and then Tesla. You know,
Yep. Yep.
so by MicroStrategy, look at that, 158,000 Bitcoins. But I can't. I don't know. Tell me what I should put in the search thing.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you
All
just
right,
what country holds the most Bitcoin? Maybe I don't know because it's not even just crypto. It's really Bitcoin is kind of the big
right. What
that
country
in the
holds the
end is
most
just that's
Bitcoin?
the gold.
Right.
You know,
Do some live searching. Chinese. All right. You know what?
the
This isn't.
Chinese government reportedly holds 194,000 BTC that was received from
Here we go. Well, what's this?
194,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, this is number of crypto owners. Oh, this is
Oh,
interesting.
India's ahead.
Yeah, number of crypto owners, percent of population.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's looking at it from a civilian stance. I'm talking
yeah.
about government
I
holdings.
know. I know.
I mean, civilian, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, you got people in Dubai that are probably killing it right now.
The US, I want to say, all right, let's go. Let's find out how much Bitcoin the US hold.
I don't know. I mean, like from a civilian stance, I would actually still argue that I would probably say United States. Well, I don't know.
Let's see.
It probably is India, actually. I mean, that makes sense. There's a lot of
Look
stuff
at
going
whoa,
on.
whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this number.
Yeah,
207,000, right?
BTC.
BTC,
That's for the
right?
United States.
Right. And then what country holds the most Bitcoin? I don't
Yeah,
think the US wants to be associated with Chinese government because this says 194,000,
yeah.
207,000. So I'm right.
Okay, fine, whatever, dude. But it's still it's a close race though.
It
That is
is.
for sure. And I guess it doesn't in the end it doesn't really matter as long as,
Right.
well, it does matter actually. It matters a lot for me.
It
Like
does. But you know what? I want to go back to this thing I found. You know, um,
this is
I,
this is this is
this is
the
interesting to
going
me.
to the moon literally all
Like
over again
if you
for
base it
crypto.
on the population, I mean, the US is still lagging a little bit. Look at Russia though. So let's base this on countries where the economy, their dollar's worth crap and everything. Russia's ruble is worth nothing, right?
Dude, Russia's got to be
So
hurting right
look at
now.
the population. They're like, we need to get into something that's of value that I don't
Yeah.
lose my value. Russia's almost 12% of the population. Ukraine is even higher, of course. I mean, war-stricken zone, right? And then
Yeah.
Venezuela. Well, we know all the Venezuelans um, freaking economy is in the tubes too, down in the
Yeah.
dumps,
Yeah.
right? So it's all countries that are leading the charge for holding, the population is these countries that are in, financial shambles and their dollar's
Yeah.
not worth anything. But the US, we're at 8% plus, so I think that's a good number, but still, here it shows you we're still in the beginning stages. If only 8% of the population, 27 million out of over 300 million people are involved, we're still at the beginning on this aspect of it. But like we said, institutional investing is the next big wave into crypto, and that's going to be a huge move in the market. Oh my God, the growth in the market is going to be unbelievable. So that was very interesting. I just want to see what this is. I'm just going to pull it up, see what we got here. How common is crypto? Look at Nigeria, 32%.
That's interesting.
Look at
Yeah.
these names of how, Vietnam, Philippines, Turkey, Peru, Switzerland. That surprised me, is that there, but China, then the US, Germany, at least we're on the top 10, and Japan.
Yeah.
What countries use cryptocurrency the most? That's pretty wild.
That is wild. Actually, that's really interesting that Nigeria is like on the top of the chart for that. But
I
this,
know.
you know what? It makes sense. This right here is a reverse engineered concept of how weak a country's currency is.
All right.
When a country has a weak currency, this is what they're doing is they're utilizing because crypto is basically like a world. This is the thing that's so interesting to me about cryptocurrency is that it's a gateway to other countries' finances without having to go through national exchanges. Think about
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go through all these national exchanges to get your money transferred over to your country's currency. You can literally just it's like a leak, it's like a financial leak into your country when you get involved. So you got Nigeria that's like, well, we should get involved in crypto because now we're dipping into other people's
Well, what
finances.
happens, especially if they get in, they know if their crypto is holding its value better than like their
Their
dollar in
government
Nigeria,
currency. Right. And you
their
can't
government currency.
right. And
They
they
know
can't
they
destroy
can,
it. They can't inflate that. That's not going to
right,
happen.
and they can't inflate it. They can't confiscate it. They can't
But they can
destroy
let it
it.
leak into their society. They can let it leak into their actual country.
Yes.
And that is what I think is happening with these poverty-stricken countries like Nigeria, like these South American countries
Or in African countries.
and African countries. Yeah, and honestly, I'm all for it. To be quite frank, dude,
Actually,
I'm all
countries
for it.
all, I mean, Russia
Yeah, dude, I've always
also,
been for the
even
philosophy of helping
even that.
poverty-stricken countries with them staying where they're at. It's not that I'm against immigration. It's just I think that crypto is a wonderful tool that we can use to help these poverty-stricken places. I really
Right,
believe
because
that with
that's why
everything in me.
people leave them and try to go to better countries, whether it's US, wherever, because of an opportunity to make a better life for themselves and their
Oh yeah, no.
family.
I think
And where they're at, they
cryptocurrency
don't
is a
have a
massive
financial means because of the
right.
currency. They don't, right? But now with cryptocurrency, if they can start growing and using cryptocurrency as their financial means, I think as the number shows, it's proving to them that they can stay where they're at. They don't have to try
Yeah.
to move or
And this is
leave.
and it pisses me off too, man, because I've had so many people tell me that, oh, crypto's a scam. And it's like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You literally have no idea what you're saying. Like what you're saying, I think what you're mad about is that you just lost some money because you
No,
had no idea why you put money into the market and you wanted to make money and then the market tanked. You got into a bear market and now you're calling it a scam. It's not a scam. You're just uneducated. That's what
that's
it comes
some of the
down to.
people. Well, they think it's a scam because they bought at the top of the market, and instead of just holding through the bear market,
But that's not a scam. That same thing could happen
no,
with the stock market.
the same thing happened with the stock market all the time.
I think that
So it's not a scam,
cryptocurrency is
but this
actually
is new, so they don't
yes.
know, they don't understand it, so it's got to be a scam.
No, cryptocurrency is is healthy economics, in the right hands.
It
In
is.
the right hands, it's healthy economics is what it is. And it helps, it we need to keep people where they're at so they can build right there. That's what you like. It makes sense to me where these families that are literally starving to death. We need to find a way to help them build there, not relocate them to starve somewhere else,
Right.
because that's more expensive. So, when you got people, getting back to our whole full circle here, you got world leaders, okay, that are against cryptocurrency. That's not helping the cause, because these world leaders are just, oh, immigration. It's like, no, actually, we need to figure out how to get finances and commodities to these people and help them, because
Yes.
that's what life should be all about, is helping people, loving people,
But
caring about people. But we need to help them where they're at now.
and this is where cryptocurrency comes into place, because the
Exactly.
government can't stop it.
Exactly.
Right.
They can't.
Even as
No,
much
it
as
won't
they
stop.
even as much as they want to stop it or control it, they can't. And that's the beauty of cryptocurrency. It's
Right.
decentralized. It takes out the middleman. It takes out. That's why they call it a trustless system. You don't have to trust anybody, because trust is not a factor.
No.
Right. Whereas right now, you got to trust the bank that you put your money in, that they're not going to fold, they're not going to go down, or the economy's going to tank, or you get other people out there that try to do a bank run. The next thing you know, you can't get your money out. So like where I put my money in the bank I use, I have to trust that institution. Right. And there's so many different banks. You have to make that choice. Cryptocurrency, I don't have to trust anybody. It's trustless.
Right. Exactly.
So
anyway. Check this out, because I'm gonna change topics now.
Right.
Getting into the ETFs that are being launched or requested for approval. We've had a lot come up this past week with Ethereum ETFs, which is massive.
Yes.
So BlackRock now files for a spot ETF for Ethereum. Okay, so this is crazy. It's the race to ETFs. It's what it is.
It's the race to ETFs to, in turn, exposure to crypto.
So it says, right, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has officially filed for a spot Ethereum exchange trading fund with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. The ETF Ethereum Trust seeks to reflect generally on the performance of the price of either, let's see, what's the Form S1 filed? Yeah, of Ether. Form S-1 filed with the SEC by iShares lately, Wednesday, iShare brands associated with BlackRock ETF products. So, yeah, so BlackRock, massive. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Massive.
We do.
I mean, it's got like
14
multi-trillion.
Yeah. I want to say they're like 14 or 15 trillion dollars under management.
14 or 15 trillion dollars. And this is the guy, Gary Gensler, with
not an elected official.
Nope.
But the power he has.
The power he has. It's insane.
It is.
But he wants to be.
That's where.
But Fidelity is the same thing.
Wants to get rid of. Here we are. Everything. This is connected.
It's all connected. Of course it is. So you have Fidelity, who wants to create an Ethereum ETF, joining BlackRock. This is recent news that came out. So yeah, they're all these massive companies, or all these massive
investment firms.
Thank you. Investment firms are wanting to take on building ETFs or creating ETFs, creating trust in the market for cryptocurrency. And so there's just some of the key points. Fidelity became the largest giant financial firm to seek to create an ETF. So I didn't realize that. I thought BlackRock was bigger than Fidelity, but I guess no, the other way around.
Became the largest giant financial firm to seek. Maybe that was. No, BlackRock is larger than Fidelity.
That's what I thought too. Yeah,
I think Fidelity is only like 2 or 3 trillion only.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know why I would say that.
They're small. They only manage $2 or $3 trillion.
Yeah. I don't like that. No.
Yeah.
The SEC needs to approve the application for them to trade in the United States. Our regulators are Bitcoin ETF too. So, I mean, dude, it's very possible that we actually might have an Ethereum and Bitcoin ETF.
There will be.
In 2024. I think it's actually.
I mean, right now they're saying on the Bitcoin ETFs that they're going to have a reply or a response to them by January 10th.
And here's the thing. So this is something that I want to kind of rephrase this bullet point here. But it says ETFs could make it far easier for the average person to invest money into crypto, and that's why everybody's so excited about this. Now, I agree with that. Mainly just because, well, let's kind of break that down for a second, because I think
I have a thought on that right
yeah
now too. So to
yeah
me, the average person is your mom, your dad, everybody in the world. The average person, works 8 to 5, 40 hours a week.
right
They don't really know anything about how to get involved with cryptocurrency. They don't want to learn it. So, but they have their money taken out of their paycheck every week, every month, whatever, that goes to BlackRock. BlackRock does their investments, right? Invest their money for them. So now that will give the average person, the ability to invest in crypto by just calling up BlackRock and going, "Hey, I want exposure to Bitcoin." Okay, well,
right
here's the spot ETF for Bitcoin. You have an exposure. I want
right
exposure to Ethereum. Well, here you go. So that's how the average person is going to get involved in cryptocurrency. Because
yes
right now it's not smooth enough for the average person. It's not just a one-click thing. They can't just go on their phone and go on their bank website, buy me this, or whatever. It's not seamless for the average person. You and I, we got involved, and remember when we had to learn when we first started how to get on exchanges, how to buy, how to upload,
oh
download.
yeah dude.
I mean,
And
it
it's
was
like, and even today, it's just like,
you're
it's
still
not
learning.
easy. It's not easy for the average human being. It sounds stupid, and a lot of people are like, well, that's stupid, but it's not. There's the average human being does not sign up on Coinbase, Kraken, all of these exchanges that have actually complied with the rules and regulations of cryptocurrency in their governments.
No, because they're
It's
afraid
not
of it. They
it's
don't
not
know it, or
yeah,
they
they're
just don't
scared of
want
the
to.
losing it,
They don't want to
even with
learn.
the insurance policy. So it
Right.
really comes down to a use case philosophy. Like, whatever the use, it's people want easy, 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 easy. I
And
want to
that's,
pull
I
out my
guess,
card.
maybe that's what they're referring to as the average person. The average
Yeah,
person who wants things easy, and
right,
they already invest in BlackRock.
right.
Right. So
So
now with this, they have ability, because I'm sure a lot of average people like out there, like, yeah, you know what? I should get some Bitcoin. I should get some Bitcoin, because they're following it now. It's coming up in the news and media and this and that. So they know about Bitcoin, but they don't want to go the next step further and get Bitcoin for themselves. But they maybe want exposure. So with these ETFs, it's going to give all these average people, that's what they call them. I just say, to me, it just gives all these people out there easy access to Bitcoin
so
just by calling their advisor and say, I want exposure to Bitcoin. Put
so
5%
listen.
of my portfolio into Bitcoin.
So
Huh.
let's listen to this really quick. So this is actually a conversation, um, that basically the title is the SEC is facing more pressure on approving a spot Bitcoin ETF. So let's just take a listen to this for a second.
Yeah.
Having BlackRock involved
You got that?
changes
Yep.
how things are done. Has it changed Chair Gensler's view?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to change this view, but as more traditional financial institutions.
No, it's going to a commercial.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
All right.
I put off treating mine.
Here we go. Hey, this
I
is
want
what
my
goes on when we're
hepatitis C
live.
gone. Do you want it gone, Brian? I want it gone.
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
like a good laugh on a Saturday morning.
Holy crap, man. I want my hepatitis C gone.
No, I want to keep mine. We got a strong relationship. Come on.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
About the rush for a spot Bitcoin ETF in the U.S. is Ether Capital CEO Brian Mosop.
You hear it okay?
Welcome, Brian.
Yep. Thanks for having me here today.
Dude,
I opened my restaurant because
I'm getting pretty over
cooking,
this whole
but I don't love cleaning grease
not
at all.
having.
Real so
Commercials anymore.
commercials.
Yeah. Let's just get past this. Holy crap.
Right.
Perhaps by Representative McHenry, who was acting speaker for a time, but also members in the Senate. Sinema and Portman, the senators that actually originally drafted the infrastructure bill language, have all written subsequent legislation to say, don't misapply what we did. Don't be confused. We want you, the IRS, to collect tax information from true intermediaries like Coinbase and Kraken. That's the low-hanging fruit for how we get better tax compliance in crypto. Don't go on a wild goose chase trying to force people who are just publishing software, which means they're exercising their freedom of speech, to somehow change their business from being a publisher of information to a financial institution that actually has customer relationships with a bunch of customers. That kind of extremely drastic step isn't going to improve tax compliance because it's an irrational policy to tell people who just write software to change their line of business. And it's also, of course, an unconstitutional policy. So we've had champions in the Senate and in the House who have said, look, Treasury needs to be cautious about how it proceeds here. There's a lot of good that can be done from common sense tax reporting standards for intermediaries, but Treasury also can go very wrong here, trample on our First Amendment and Fourth Amendment rights, and basically waste the time of law enforcement and tax professionals because these rules won't be able to be enforced. They're nonsensical in the context that they've been actually drafted.
Well, there you go.
Wow. Yeah, so that goes right. Who was that again speaking?
That was the money man, or I honestly don't know. He was
Right.
I kind of lost it, but
he already went right back to Ramaswamy's freedom of crypto. That was his freedom number one, freedom to code. Just like along freedom of speech, what he just said, the First Amendment. You know, they're going after the wrong people. You know, and I agree. Like, that's one of the main reasons I do, for me personally, I'll do all my stuff on Coinbase, or, you know, I'm using Kraken a little bit too, because they track all your trades in and out, your profits or your losses, and they make it very easy. They'll print up the tax form for you to find the taxes. You know,
yep.
Everybody's got to pay taxes.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'm not even going to avoid that. I'm paying my taxes. That's how this country works. Granted, are the taxes higher than they probably should be? My opinion, yeah. You know,
yeah,
so
but getting past that,
all,
we have to contribute. We have to have some kind of line that contributes.
But we're all on the same level. We're all on the same playing field. You know,
right.
So just to me, it's easy. I'm not going to try to avoid taxes.
No,
you know, we need them. That's how we pay for our infrastructure, police, fire, and rescue. Granted, I mean, I don't want to get into a political, you know, talk here anyway, but taxes are needed. It's everybody's opinion on what level of the taxes should be are different, whether it's Republican or Democrat, whoever. So anyway, I'm all for the taxes. So, and I agree with that gentleman speaking that go start with the low-hanging fruit, get the tax code in there, and just that's the bottom line. Is the government just wants money, so just go about it the right way. As he said, the Treasury has, you know, they're going to make a decision here soon, and hopefully they make the right one and not go after people. And I think they will, because I think they're going to actually, even if they don't want to, I think they're going to get forced to, because again, once you start going after our amendments, and, you know, First Amendment, freedom of speech, nothing good will happen for that. You know, they're not gonna win that.
So
Definitely
I got one more clip for us to listen to, because I want to kind of get more, like, dive deeper into this spot ETF information and whatnot. I think it's really fascinating.
All right.
So this right here,
slide, and oil prices rise as traders react to the horrific massacres that occurred in Israel after Hamas launched.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep on getting all these stupid.
I wanted my hepatitis.
No. See, I'm done with that. I really am done.
I really want my hepatitis C gone.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Bitcoin's reaction
Yeah.
to two jobs reports and what allegedly really happened between Taylor Swift and FTX. Welcome to CoinDesk Daily.
Oh, yeah, forget that. You know what? I don't have any control over these. Yeah, so basically, you know, it's just what we're talking about with the Bitcoin spot ETF is it's to get it to be approved, you got to get somebody who's more pro crypto. And I think I don't know. I think Gary Gensler is not. I don't think he is. I think that he's making it sound like he is, but he's so old school in the stuff that he's doing. I just don't see it. I don't know. I think it's going to be, he'll approve it. I think that he will approve it, but I don't think he's going to help the thing go quick. I don't think he's really caring much about it. He just cares about how
I think
define
he's
these
seeing the writing on
securities
the wall. I think he's seeing the writing on the wall now that he's going to have to change his stance.
He's got to exactly.
Right. He's going to have to go from being super negative to either neutral, at least to neutral.
Right.
So, and he doesn't want to do that overnight. So I think he's going to drag it out over a few months to slowly change that view of his. So maybe he's trying to save face, or who knows. But that's why I think he'll drag it out. They said it's possible that they could get a ruling on the ETFs by the end of this year, because they have to rule or give some type of statement or whatever, I think January 10th of 2024. So we'll see if it, I'm just thinking about either the end of this year or the beginning of next year.
You're thinking about your hepatitis problem there?
How it's going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
Well, with the market. That's what I was thinking about the market. Oh my God. I mean, this ETFs get passed either the end of this year or beginning of next year. That's just going to be a run up to the freaking halving.
So, and it makes me wonder this, does that mean that we have advanced our Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, our crypto bull run earlier? Or does it mean that we just have a quick, like, this is not the actual massive run? Is the massive run still going to be,
right? So
history repeating itself and happening in 2025 as on schedule, or because right now we're fluctuating numbers that are getting people excited the way that I was feeling excited back in late 2016, and
so I'm going to try to pull up like 2020, right?
Yeah, let's get into some charts on this, because I really think the way that I feel right now is the way that I felt in late 2016. And if you look at the charts, that was definitely, we're not complying with that history of repeating itself at all. So it's almost like just institutional investors, Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs,
right,
causing the market to just go astronomical. Because now people are talking about Bitcoin being, $250,000.
Or higher.
like us seeing that or higher.
Well, remember a couple months ago, whenever it was, I said my number is 207,000 at the peak of this next bull market.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with my 90.
Your 90 is going to happen before the halving.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If that's true, man. Oh my word.
Right.
That's a lot of green.
Oh my God. Right. So here we are. Right. We'll go back. So the halving was in like August of 2016, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to, because I'm just doing a weekly chart. Let me, whoops. I'm going to change something here. Let me go to it. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Here we go. I'm getting there, folks. I'm sorry. I should have had
Yeah, well, while you're getting there, everybody like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification.
You can watch me scrolling around with charts.
Because it would mean the world to us. That's why.
Yeah, it would. Definitely. Or hit the bell notification so you'll get notified every time we put out a video.
I think everybody's still sleeping. We get up earlier than everybody, Brian.
I know.
Right, oh yeah, we also got to talk about this new crypto that you're thinking about buying.
Oh yeah.
Well, new for us.
New for us, yeah. We don't have any of it yet.
Yeah.
Hey, why am I having such a problem with this? This is the total market cap back then?
Yeah, from that particular perspective.
This is the total market cap back then.
It's crazy.
Right? Wow.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, dude, we were only playing around with like hundreds of billions. It wasn't, I mean, not even that. I mean, geez, we probably only had like 50 billion.
So here, to put it in, I'm almost there now. Sorry, it took me so long. So here we are, so 16. So this right here, I'll go a little more. So This is interesting. Look at this. So here we are, November of 2015. I don't want 15. How did that? All right. Sorry.
No, you do want 15 because that's where I
that's
thought
right.
we
I do
were.
want 15.
That's
yes.
where
so
I thought
November,
we are.
So here we are. Wow. 8 years ago, you know,
Yeah, see,
so this
now
is,
that, okay, now that makes sense.
We're 2 cycles past this point, right? So here we go. Something happens, but here we go. End of November, you know, all the way to, so we'll go
Makes
end
sense
of
what we're seeing
November,
here.
right?
That makes
All the
total
way
sense.
to, you know,
what is that?
This is to the, let's go to January 10th, end of November, from November 26th to January 10th of 2016, which is kind of the same time frame we're in and going through.
Well, that was the Bitcoin halving. That was the last.
No, that
Bitcoin.
wasn't the Bitcoin. Yeah, that wasn't the Bitcoin halving yet. This is going into the year of the Bitcoin halving, right?
No. I'm saying 2016. Mid 2016 was the Bitcoin. You're highlighting from where we are, like theoretically where we are.
I'm
to
highlighting
the
from
Bitcoin
where we
halving.
are to the beginning of 2024. That's what I'm comparing this to, what's going to be coming.
Right, exactly.
So in that 3 months, the total market cap is going to go up by 50%. So we're at 1.38, just at 1.4 right now. That means in the next 3 months, if we follow the same 50%, the market is going to increase.
It's going to be like 2.5 trillion.
It's going to be like $2.8 trillion.
Yeah.
Right. But now,
if that's the case, dude,
and
then
that's
that
the
means
case.
that
So what happens from
Bitcoin's going to be
January,
$1 trillion in and of
right?
itself.
January, and it goes, you know, here we
so
go.
So Bitcoin could be at 64,000 by the halving, is what you're saying.
Yes. Almost its all-time high. So right,
Yeah,
and then here we had a spike, and that now it's from here. Then we have a correction or just a little downward trend. But as you can see, it's still making almost higher lows. But you can see it's progressing up. And then we get to right. I think the halving, was it in May or was it in
June? I thought. I'm pretty sure it was June.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think it was June. Yeah.
All right. So if it was in June, here we go. Kind of just went sideways a little bit.
It always does.
Right.
The halving happens.
And then here's the halving.
But you know why? I'll tell you why. It's go back to November where you started.
Right
okay.
Here.
Buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay. Well, it's obviously a halving. It's not rumor, but that right there is your halving growth. We're currently in the halving growth right now. That's what's happening.
Pre-halving growth.
We are pre-halving growth right now. And that's all going to happen up until, get me to the top of that. What is the top of that? December or is it January, February? Oh, it must be the end of December. The very top of that.
The top of that's going to be.
So just before Christmas, basically.
Right. It's either going to be, it seems like just before the new year, it's going to peak, or actually that's the peak right there. So just
theoretically,
Christmas, and then it goes down a little bit, and then it's almost like a double top a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the point I'm trying to make. I think this is actually very, very educational for all of us, okay? Because and I want to go to the next one after this so we can look at the next one to see if it confirms this one. You know, but in theory, according to technical analysis, we really only have until mid-December until we maybe should kind of not sell, but like that's because it's going to gradually continue to go up. But that right there, it's going to go sideways potentially until the next halving.
Right, which would be April this time. But
right.
Anyway,
so we're
December,
still in the accumulation stage right now, but we're getting pretty close to going side. We could be going sideways for another 6 months.
But everything's not exactly 8 years. It's just, every 4 years is a cycle. I think it's just a little bit less because like 2016, the halving was in June. The last halving in 2020 was in May. This halving coming up, they're saying is in April. So it's like a month behind.
Yeah.
So if this peak is,
But after that halving, I mean, bring your to what's the bottom of that right there? Is that January
right here.
of
So right before the
2016?
halving, is this where you're talking?
Yeah, that's it right there. That's 16, right?
Yes.
Okay, so boom. Oh, it's May. Yeah, that's
May.
directly before the halving.
Right. So the halving happened in June. So there was a build
Okay,
up.
so that right there is, yeah, okay, never mind. I take back what I said. So that is the actual
Right.
the
This is the
accumulation.
halving. And then after the halving, actually, I'll be curious to see if it changed. After the halving, we had a spike up, right? Shortly after the halving, like that month after, but then it had a little correction, it seems like. But
Well, it's
then let's
got
go
to.
on to what happens after that little correction.
What happens after that correction, Brian?
Oh,
Tell me what happens.
what happens? Sweetness. Here's the halving, right? So it's gonna make these wicks look really small.
No kidding.
Because look what happens.
Hey, I'm gonna go refresh my coffee.
All right.
I'm gonna let you talk about this for a bit.
Yeah. All right. So here we are. Remember, the halving is back here in May, right? Way back here. Let me change this. I'll go to a 5. This is the weekly chart. Get a little better view here. Oh my goodness. All right. It's just let me see here. One other thing I want to try to no. So way back here in May, it's barely on the, you can barely even see it. Let me move so anyway, from May all the way, we can see what happens from May of 2016, all the way up to, we're going to go ahead and just get a ruler on that. May, you can't even see the prices. So May 2016, from there, it's roughly, call it 14 billion. And this market, its highest close was 645 billion. So the market itself went up over 5,500% in a matter of, 17, 18 months. That is crazy. It went up. That was back then. So now we're going to go to the next halving, and that was in 2020. So here we are. I'm going to just zoom in on a daily chart real quick for just getting up close during that time frame. Here. Sorry about the slowness of me manipulating this chart. Because we're going to go to 2020. So in 2016 to 2017, the market grew 5,500%, from like 14 billion to 700 billion. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So anyway, here we go. I'm almost there. Sorry, folks, about this boring stuff, but here we are. And so right now, 2020. So that would mean 2019. Here we are, 2019. And this is where we're at, roughly, from the same place I took before to to January. So it actually, it's to me, it's a little different. from where we are right now, but we do have an increase. But back in 2020, it kind of went sideways until January, where in 2016 it grew. So right now, if depending which one we follow from now to 2021, so the next month and a half, we're going to see sideways action. But then at the beginning of the year, and this could be January 10th when ETFs are approved, we could have a huge increase for the next month or two. But then here we go, this big thing right here, this right here was COVID, this whole area. So, but what happens after COVID? We had the halving, but this was a rebound by itself, just naturally, because it dropped so fast with no resistance going back up. So we went back up and pretty much gained everything back from COVID fall, just say March of 2020, we gained everything back within less than 2 months. We gained all that value back. So, and here we are, we gained it all back. And I think the upcoming halving helped that out too, but we gained it all back. So here was the halving roughly sometime in May of 2020. And then I got to get my chart here again. I'm going to go to a weekly now to show this part of it, because it's such a large increase. So here we are. So from pretty much the halving to the peak of the bull market in 2017. So that 18 months from the halving in 2016 to 2017, the market grew, Cody, a little over 5,500%.
Holy crap.
It went from like 14 billion to like 700 billion.
Jeez, I'm crow. Yeah.
Crazy.
See, now that's
so
it.
Here
right
we
there.
are. So we'll compare this one now, from, we're just going to go roughly middle of May. I don't know the exact date of the halving, but, and it goes all the way up to, this was November of 2021. So, so this market this time grew roughly from its low, saying 251 billion, to almost $3 trillion. Well, peaked at, so almost 1,100%, the last bull market. Roughly the same time frame. That was, roughly 18 months. So now, the last time it was definitely, I'm just finding this interesting. So it grew 1,100%. So who knows what it's going to do this time, but here we are now, same time frame as the other ones I started, November of 2016, November of 2015 and November of 2019. So now here we are, same time frame as the November of 2023. We saw two different things happen, more so in 2015 to 2016, beginning of 2016, we had 50% gain. From 2019, November of 2019 to January of 2020, the market went sideways. There was really no growth, but the growth happened. We had a growth from January of 2020 to like February. And then of course I went through, that was right here, so, hold on. So it doesn't show up as much as on the weekly chart. But we had, what was this? When was COVID wasn't, this must have been the war or something. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, so I'm getting distracted a little bit. So if we follow either model, so if we follow what happened last bull market, this is going to go sideways until January, right? Which kind of makes sense, because then what happens if the ETFs get approved? We're going to see a run up to the halving. And this is where I've showed you before. We've broken this support level right here, right? I mean, we've broken that was resistance. You can see, I'll just make another line real quick. You know, you can see, I'll just start it here. Right, you can see what happened here is, you know, that's right here. That was probably a little bit of resistance. We blew through that, right? So you can see this line in the sand, you know, we'll just call it 1.3 trillion. You can see where we came down, and that was our support. It held. And then of course, you know, that was in the 2021, so the summer of 2021. And you can see what happened pretty much the next next 3 or 4 months. We had that huge growth in the market, you know. So then it comes down, you know, it's trying to rebound. It came back up, but now this $2 trillion line became resistance. It went back down, and then it just blew through that 1.3 trillion. And you can see now we went from, this is the bear market, you know, this was last summer. You can see it came up, kind of tested it once, went down again, came up, tested it. Nope, there's still resistance, tested it again, you know. Well, so I'll just put dates on it. So like August of 22, it tested it. And then it went April 23, it tested it and got rejected. And then July 23, it tested it, got rejected. But now here we are. It came up and we broke it just in the last month. And now we got to make sure if this stays as support, and we're talking from what happened last cycle, come January timeframe, it's gonna break out, and it's gonna go up. And I really think it can happen by the halving. We're going to be testing this $2 trillion mark. So like I said before, I think that the market cap is going to be 2 trillion plus when we get to the halving. It might go as high as like 2.3 trillion, but I think it's going to break this, and we're going to see some sideways action up here, testing that as support. And then that's going to be happening right around after the halving. And then we know what happens shortly after the halving. We're going to see massive growth. And who knows where this massive growth is going to go.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's, yeah. I do think that there is going to be quite a run up. I just don't foresee it happening as large as we're all talking about. I mean, it could. I don't know. I don't want to be pessimistic.
I mean, I really believe, Cody, if these ETFs get approved beginning in January, you know, and if they get approved in the next 6 weeks, I think right now we're going to go sideways again. We're going to have to, you know.
Yeah, we would have to.
The market has to take a breath.
That makes sense. It's early.
It's got to test this newfound support.
Yeah, it's early, but I do think that there is going to be a run up before the halving, because it shows in the history that's constantly repeated itself that it does that. Right. You know, we have our November run up, regardless of what year it is. It's always this crazy November run up.
We didn't have a November run up in 2020.
Okay.
2019.
Well, yeah, because you're talking about the bear market. Are you talking about the bear market?
No, in 2019, there wasn't. You weren't here when I went through that.
No, I wasn't. I went to go get some more coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a question from somebody.
All right.
Casey says, do you trade this cryptos as normal day stock traders, or do you compound your crypto wallets to sell at a later date? That's a good question. I don't like to day trade. I'm not a day trader. And
neither am I.
We do a little swing trading. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
little swing
like
trading.
2 to 4 to 6 weeks, you know, time frame.
Actually, Brian's going to be doing a 1,000 to 1,000,000 swing trading.
I'm going to try.
What is it? He's going to be 10x. It's going to be a 10 trade philosophy, starting with $1,000 and then 10 trades to $1 million.
So this is going to be a pucker factor, but I'll talk about that real quick. I just wanted to show you
So anyways, Casey, to answer your question, no, we're not day traders. We're not professional traders, and we're not financial advisors.
And this is not financial advice.
Right. This is just entertainment. But I
Right.
will say this, though. We have been holding crypto since late 2016, early 2017. And I mean, fortunately, we both are definitely doing well with it. I mean, it's not, it's really, we're long-term holders because we still believe in the philosophy of being early adopters, even in a $1 trillion market that we're in right now. We think that this thing could be, this market cap in general could do a 10 to 20x, in the next coming years, in the next 10 years or so.
Easy.
With that, a 15 trillion to 20 trillion dollar market cap, I believe that's highly possible. And I think that whatever you're accumulating for long term could be, there's so many reasons why it's a good idea to hold on to crypto. I think long term,
there's countries
from
now that
taxes
it's a
to
currency. El Salvador, that's their
Yeah.
that's their currency is Bitcoin.
right.
But
But
so
if
I'm
you,
in a situation where I'm sorry to cut you off, Cody.
no, you're fine. I guess my point is just for me, I love the concept of holding crypto long term, and I do think when I say long term, there's a couple of different ideas on long term. Like long term, as in like I want to sell a very large amount of my holdings before the next bear market, like 80% or something like that. As a trader, I it's not really something I'm interested in, is doing day trading. I think that it's great, and I think it's awesome if you know how to do it, but it's not anything that I personally know how to do super well. So
for me, most of my stuff is long-term holdings, meaning similar to what Cody said, at the peak of the bull market, I'll probably move it into a stable coin and back into cash before it goes down to keep my value. But I do some swing trading, like I said, 2 to 4 week, 6 week time frame, and usually when it doubles, I'll pull my initial investment out, and depending on what coin it is, and if I have, my level of belief in the coin and the project, I might hold the rest for a while for long term, or I might just wait till it doubles again, and then I would.
But that's the point. If you're going to do swing trading, you need to double. You need to double. Because
right,
if otherwise you're wasting so much money and time on short-term capital gains for taxes, So
crypto is much more volatile. So it's not like you're not going to wait till a double if you're trading stocks on the stock market. The market is not volatile anymore. Crypto is very volatile. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there that can double within days or even one day. We've seen it.
Yeah.
And we actually, Cody and I bought a coin, and within a few days,
we actually doubled it that day.
Did it on live. It doubled
pretty much.
So it's pretty wild. So let me get back to your answer, Cody. What happened the last bull market, right?
Yeah.
So here we are, November of 2019, and look what happened. This is the weekly chart. It went down until January of 2020, and then it started growing. Right? It grew 50%. It went from pretty much 200 billion to 300 billion. And then we had the COVID event right there. And then it regained what it lost pretty quickly. And then here we are, in the halving. This was the halving 2020. Look what happened. We had up a little correction, or a little, just take a breath, and then we had, of course, the rest. It just shot up. So that's, so that's a little different. So if whereas in 2015, 16, we had the increase, right? So who knows what's going to happen here? We're up to here. Was our increase a little earlier? I don't know. Or are we going to follow the 2020 pattern, 1920 pattern, where we go sideways until sometime in January, and then we have growth up to them halving? That's what I think is going to happen. Right.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be 2 trillion plus when the halving hits.
I agree with that. I think that's very doable.
Right. And then after the halving, we're gonna hit, all-time market cap high rather quickly. And we're just gonna see this, type of growth, just upward growth for 18 months. Can the market get up to here? Who knows, right? So anyway, that's what we have for that. So I'm going to go back to what Cody brought up about me 1,000 to 1 million with 10 trades. So I've been thinking
Are you
about
going to
this.
relinquish the first coin?
Oh my gosh, right? So this is what I'm going to do, or I'm going to attempt to do, because if it starts working and happening, there's going to be some pucker factor getting involved with it. I'm going to take $1,000. I'm going to find a coin that I think is going to double in a matter of a short period of time. My swing trading, anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. If I think it's going to double, I'm going to probably get into that coin. I kind of found a coin that I'm probably going to go, but I got to do a little more research with. It's one of the top hundreds. So, I mean, and I'm going to I'll do a video on that coin, because if I'm going to buy the coin, even if I'm swing trading it, I'm still going to do some research on it. So my plan is that first buy will be $1,000 on one coin. And when it doubles, I'm going to take my initial investment out. So it's going to be 1,000 to 1,000,000 in 11 trades. So I'm going to take my initial investment out. So now I'm playing with house money. I don't have any money involved with it. So I'm going to take that first double. So I'll have another $1,000, and I'm going to double that 10 times with 10 trades. And if you do the math with 10 trades, this is gross before I have to pay taxes, because I will pay my taxes. 10 trades, if I do $1,000 and then double it each time and then trade the full amount. So if the first trade is the double, I got 2,000. Now I'm going to trade the 2,000 on one coin for a double. Then it's 4,000. You do that 10 times, you will have $1,024,000. So I'm going to try it, but this is where the pucker factor comes in. Once you do, you go 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 64, 128, even at 64,000. Now I'm taking 64,000 and I'm going to buy one coin with it. That's a little bit of a pucker factor for me. But then that doubles. Next thing is 128,000, doubles again. We're at 256. You double it again. Now I'm at 512,000. So I'm going to have to find coins that have a larger market caps or very high volume. So there's a lot of liquidity, because if I'm taking $512,000 to buy one coin, I might affect the price of that coin. So, but I guess that's not a bad thing to happen, because if I'm to that point where I have $500,000 from these trades, that last trade is going to be a pucker factor. All right, here we go. I'm rolling $500,000 into one coin for a double. So let's see what happens.
You might as well do Bitcoin at that point,
I'm saying I'm going to try it, but who knows? That's a lot of money, but I'm going to start it. So now I'll do
Now here's the interesting thing that I'm curious about is when you do this, I'm curious to see what your BTC value is going to be against your altcoin, paired to your altcoin trading.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Is your BTC value, by the time the swing trading process is done to $1 million, is Bitcoin worth $1 million?
Right. Or is it worth 200,000? So right. So that would be worth 5 Bitcoin.
I mean, if I was to guess, I'd say no, because I think that altcoins are going to are inevitably going to be much more volatile.
So I'm going to start this now. So I have roughly.
Are you going to start? You're going to do your first trade right now, Brian?
Not today. No,
you're going to do it right
I'm
now.
not ready. I haven't done enough. Hey,
$1,000 into FTT right now. That's what.
Done.
The crazy thing is that it probably would double.
SPF is coming back.
Oh my word! I know SPF is making a comeback.
Yeah, no, in jail. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So I'm gonna try this.
No. I got
it. But
BTT.
What do I have to lose? And I'm gonna keep this outside of my portfolio that I'm holding long term. Which, I'm an older guy here. I'm 53 years old, so I'm looking as I'm setting up my retirement is what I'm doing with cryptocurrency. I do have investments in other stuff, but I'm a little behind to where I want to be financially. So I'm using crypto as my vehicle to get to where I need to get over the next, best case scenario, 2 years. But I'm 53. So if I work till 59 or 62, even 62, worst case scenario, I'm trying to get myself set up in the next 9 years. And with cryptocurrency, I really believe this is going to happen. But I'm going to have fun with this 1,000 to 1,000,000 and see what
seriously.
happens with that.
Yeah,
So,
I know. I want to see
but
this.
that's outside of being frugal in sense and with my long-term holdings and making sure they're very good projects. Some of these, 1,000 to 1,000,000 trades could be not so good coins. Like I looked at one, I never even knew this. Reddit has a coin. Did you? I had no idea that Reddit had their
Yeah, I
own
know. We were talking about
cryptocurrency,
that earlier. That's really
right?
interesting.
And it's called Moon. And it went from like 2 cents to 40 something cents over a period of months. Yeah, I gotta pull up this chart.
Fitting name for a cryptocurrency.
Right. I'm gonna I'll pull up the chart here. Let me see.
Moon.
Right. Moon USD. So I'm getting the chart set up and I'll share my screen here in a minute. Because there's not a lot of data on it.
Moon to the moon.
Right. Yeah, I mean the coin. Yeah. All right. I'm almost there.
I'm actually gonna have to get off here pretty soon.
All right. So I'll just finish this then, and we'll finish up with this then. So let me just share my screen. So here we are, Moon, right? I saw this coin. I found out that Reddit had it because it said, it was look at this. It was Monday, November 13th. Right? The coin was like around 5 cents. And what's the date today?
It says 18th.
So the 18th. So in a day, it went from 5 cents to 44 cents in a day. I was like, what's going on with that? And it's totally decentralized now. So Reddit is no longer in control of it. It's totally decentralized coin now. And it's just, it's driven by its ecosystem. So I think it was a mem coin at first, or it still is, but you could see here, if I show the rest of the data on it, right? You can see this is when it launched, roughly, August, this past August, it came out high at 59 cents and it just went all the way down.
Took a drop off there. Like, I wonder what happened.
25 cents. I don't know what happened there.
That must have been like some terrible news.
Something, right? Because it went straight down.
Seriously. That was like a drop off.
Right? It went from 23 cents, 24 cents down to 2 cents in one day.
Yeah.
But there's no resistance going back up to this point, right? So here you can see it starts going up a little bit. The resistance, well, there is some moving average resistance, right? But then it kind of made like a bull flag or descending. Yeah, more like a bull flag maybe. And then here we go. This always gets in my way. Here we go on the like I said, November 13th, from 5 cents to 45 cents, but now it's gone back down sharply because again, it went up quickly, it's going down quickly. But now what's interesting to me, and that's why I was looking at this coin, it kind of started going sideways, right? So right around this price range, and the 20 and 50 day, more so the 50-day moving average right now is kind of acting like support. So, but we have this resistance here at 23 cents. And you can see, it went down below it. You can see it tested it right there. It tested it again there, and it got rejected. So I'm going to kind of watch this because it's going sideways. If it breaks this resistance and starts going above it at 23 cents, we'll call it, there's really, as we can see with the rest of the chart, just trying to get it in full view, it breaks this as resistance. I mean, there's some spots of resistance here at 31 cents, but even from 23 cents to 31 cents. Mind you, this is only 2-hour candle wick. So, because there's not a lot of data on this stuff yet, because it just came out. If I go to just to give you an idea, let me go to 8-hour chart. very little data, but look how sharply that drops.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
Right? So if I break this resistance here, it's possible that it could go, it might stop here a little bit, but there's not a lot of price action there. Or even there, I was looking at this as possibly a quick double. I think what happened was I had pulled it up on the day, and with very little data, you can see how quickly that dropped.
And just to let people know, I mean, people must know, and these are high risk. This is a high risk cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
This is
but
very much, speculative is what
when
this
I first
is.
saw it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do my first double on this, my first double trade on this, because I think if I got in, well, I was waiting to see what happened here. It's testing the 50-day moving average. So it all depends. See what happens. But if it breaks this 24 cent thing, what I was getting to, my point was it could get it back up to 50 cents pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But who knows? It's a junk coin. So I'm probably going to stay away from it and just give everybody a highlight of what I'm going to do. Probably my first coin on, but I'll do a video on it first. And we'll end with this, Cody, is I'm going to look at doing my first trade with DYDX. And my next video that I put out will be the details of what price I think I'm going to get in at and what price I'm going to look at doubling. So that's what my next video will be about, is going through that.
Nice.
So
DYDX, you heard it. First trade of the 10,000 to $1 million.
Right.
Here we go. And we can post that too. There'll be the journey of 1,000 to $1 million. How about that? That'd be kind of fun.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Everybody just needs to be responsible if they follow along with us for their own financial decisions.
Yes, this is my views and opinions and what I'm doing. We're definitely not financial advisors.
Yeah.
And this is definitely not financial advice.
Right. So if you follow this 1,000 to $1 million trade philosophy, take responsibility for yourself.
Who wanted to stop and say hi to everybody?
Look at this cat. Look at that cat.
Yeah, she's coming to steal my pen.
All right, dude.
All right,
well, I got to get out of here. But hey, everybody, thanks for watching. If you guys could please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification, that would mean the world to us. We really want to bring as much news and stuff to you guys as possible about what's going on in the crypto world, from political to financial to governmental to
whatever.
Hepatitis, like we talked about earlier.
On that note, I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I hope if you have hepatitis, you get it under control. I don't know what's going on. All right, it's time for us to go.
Crypto Cody out.
All right.